What's up? Do I have audio? It looks like I have audio. But I've been fooled recently. I feel like I'm slightly out of tune here. Yeah, right there. We are live. What's up, Lukes? Tony? Green Meanie? Music Therapy? Larry John? Frank C? Ron Padgett? Christian? Music Sound? Yeah, it's a little out there. Hold on. What's up, Tex? Music Sound Gear? Corey's Garden? There we go. And now, truth be told, full disclosure, my birthday really isn't until Monday. But this is, I feel once you passed it, you sort of passed it, you know. That's it. Then it's yesterday's news. Oh, come on. Oh, I knew it. You got it? You got it? There we go. Yeah, let's start off with a nice long tuning. Doesn't sound right. There it is. What's up, Richard? What's up, Zach? Is it Nycat? Nickcat? Wendell? Daniel? Terry? Juan Blanco? What's up, buddy? Strat Tom? Jay Jennings? Tex Hamilton? BC Rich? 39. There we go. Yeah, put the Gibson. Where's the Robo Tuners when you need them? What's up, Big Dave? What's up, Charles S? Thank you. J Mac, Heavy Rhythm. I know how you feel. Just bought a guitar with a Floyd on it, right? Oh, that sounds. There it is. There it is. Guitar sounds great. Epiphone SG shows up on Monday. You best people are on it. I hope so. I hope so. Probably not. We're going Gibson. We're going to see. We're crossing fingers. I do have my best people on it. But it's a little on back order, but that's okay. Got a team on it. Thanks, Jetty Matzi. Oh, thanks, Rinionis. It's out of these names. You're killing me. Oh, well, happy birthday, Strat Tom. Yours is recent. Is it me? Happy birthday, Ed. 67. That's up there. I hope I can get there. I think that sounds great. Nice sounding pickups on these. You know? No, they're not too muddy. That was the neck. That was the neck. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, mine isn't today. Mine's actually Monday. David Gilmore's is today. I got something in my eye here. Come on. Freaking eyelash. Think I got it. Come on. Damn it. It's the second you you turn 55, your eyeballs just fall right out of your head. That's a fact. Yeah. Hey, that string's a little low. I can see it. Thanks, Metal Theater. Yeah, cat hair. Exactly. Thanks, Even Hammer. From Norway. Right, 24 frets. Voice volume is a bit scratchy. Hold on a sec. Check, 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 check. See if that, and I can even turn that a hair. See if that's a little better. Actually, hold on one. Check, check, yeah. Sometimes I think it's good just, it has a little, like watch battery for the condenser. And sometimes I think it's just a good idea just to spin the battery a little bit and get some good contact on it. That seems to work. That sound a little better? No, I haven't got a haircut. I need one so bad. I'm trying to move it back so it's not, I mean, it's like down to here now. Well, I got one guy saying it's scratchy. Anyone other than that one guy. Because if it's not, then I'm going to say it's your headphones or your speakers or something. Hey, thanks, RJ. What's up, buddy? I'll try a RJ's here, but can't really. Can I do like a? It's not the same. Right. I'm I'm getting no scratchy. So I'm thinking it might be. Yeah. Yeah, that's where he goes like. That one fret. Getting your second COVID shot. Good for you. I'm not even, I think, up for it yet. I think I'm like end of phase 2 or something. Yeah, it's hard to do, I think, as Stevie Ray on the... That's not very... I think the Volagates are better. You know? Oh, thanks, Vincent, man. Much appreciated. Thanks, Michael. Let's talk about that phrase. It's ebony. It is ebony. So this was part of a special run for a dealer. And one of the things you can get if you do a special dealer run is ebony. You know, it's usually, rosewood. But for, special dealer runs, they will do ebony until the dealer ordered that. That was the thing. And these are a little bit more money. So instead of $19.99, it was like a 20%. What am I hearing? It's like a 20% up price. I think they're $23.99. Yeah, nice knobs, right? Oop, not that one. That one. Sure. Oh yeah, what did I say? I was so close. Off by 2 minutes. My wife ordered Chinese food. I said, "Are you insane? He's going to be here at 7:15. No, he's not. They said 30 minutes. I said, "I don't care what he said. He's going to be here in 60 minutes. He's going to be here at 7:15, right when I start my show. No. I was off by 2 minutes. He was here at 7:13. Listen, the one thing you have to remember is I'm always right. I don't think Buddy Cat's probably upstairs. How's the double neck PRS coming along? Well, it's still up there. It hasn't sold yet. But, it's still, we're still out of the $13,999 to get there. We're about 13,700 behind. No. So close. Thanks, Platinum. Oh, that ain't sad. That's what I say to everyone younger than me. You're just a kid. What's up, David Davis? Oh, thanks, Buzz. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Well, I just heard that. Doesn't all wives are right? No. Well, the funny thing is I was like, I've been hankering for Chinese. Why don't we just get some Chinese? Oh, I don't know. We have lots of leftovers. Blah, 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 blah. The second my son said, let's get Chinese, she was like, okay. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. She's like, we're getting Chinese. I'm like, has Ben asked for it? She's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, damn. Yeah, I'm waiting on the triple neck, exactly. Oh, thanks, Music Therapy Laz. Much appreciated, man. You play Bryan Adams. Do I know any Bryan Adams? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Bryan Adams. Let me think. Skinnerd, man. Oh my God, FXDB. Thank you so much, man. Super appreciated. Damn. No requests? Thanks, Slim Pickens. Thanks, Hugh. Much appreciated. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I said. I go, why are you ordering it now? I go, you're ordering anything. At least it'll be cold when I'm done. It's like, and it's my birthday. Oh, I need sound effects. I need an awe sound effect. I need that music, that piano playing in the background. I went with, my input was for Szechuan spicy shrimp. Any Van Halen? What else? How do I think he. Check the fortune cookie first. I don't know. Did you see it too? Happy birthday, Gary. This is a new patch I used this last week too. So it's a little different than my normal one. Let me yeah, so here is the normal one. That's dual heavy rig. And this is the one I've been using the last maybe 2 weeks. So it doesn't have as much spread to it, but it's got a nice chunk, like right down the middle. It's actually not as distorted as the other one. It's actually more crunchy than it is like lead tone, believe it or not. Oh, thanks, Devin. Oh, thanks so much, man. It's only love, D, C, A, B flat, and F. That's easy. Yeah, it probably plays it like that. You know. Have you ever played a Music Man Axis? Only the Sterling one, not the Music Man. A friend of mine had a Sterling one he brought over here. It was a really nice guitar. The one he had, anyway. That was a while ago. That was like 10 years ago. It's like, say, the first one is open with an A, and the second one is, I think of it as closed. Sharp harmonic thing like Skinner or Rory. Mean like pinch harmonics? That's just choking up on the pick and getting a little bit of the side of your pick to hit the string. You pull that harmonic out. Hold on. Let's go to harmonic cam. See, it depends on where I watch. The harmonics will drop in pitch. You see? So you just, that's the thing. And then if you turn it a little bit, you can get side, and if it's a little bit different. Most people do it downstroke. Like every note harmonic. So it's like after a while, it's just a matter of digging it in a little bit and making it so that when you, at the very last second, like the side of your thumb hits the string. You can even do it for chords. Yeah, acoustics can do harmonics, but not so much pinch harmonics. I mean, they can, but they're so weak. Ever teach guitar before? Yeah, I taught for a little bit. Yeah, the distortion definitely does better at. I mean, you can do it without it. Let me see, but they're gonna not quite that. So it's not quite the same, right? You know, versus. Steve, you have some of the best sound in playing here. And you, oh, thank you. I don't know about playing, but I try to work on the sound. I think the guy with some of the best live tone out there is RJ Ronquillo. He has quite a rig going. I go through software to get what he does. I think more, analog. Oh, thanks, Perfecto de Castro. What's up, buddy? Technically, it's not till Monday, but we're celebrating a little early because the live show is tonight. I had nothing else this week. I said, I'll do a birthday show. We've actually done prior shows, I think, actually on my birthday, but I never brought it up. But I didn't know what I was going to do this week, and I was like, birthday show? Sure. Van Halen, Pressure Dome, good example of fret harmonics. Pretty much Van Halen is the harmonic master. I would say him and Joe Satriani, and to a lesser degree, but still quite a bit, is Zakk Wylde. But Vai's pretty good, but I'd say Satriani and really Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen. Jesus, just so. Just the master, the OG. It's a month-long bender. There you go. Exactly. Well, the funny thing is you're looking up, all the what was it? You know how they do that thing in the newspaper that it says, I forget the name, like, it's not this day in history, but it's like, sort of like famous people that are also born on that day, famous people born this day, back when we had newspapers. And you're reading them, and it's all these cool people, and it would get to my day, and the only guy I don't know who else it was probably political people that I didn't know who it was. The only other name I recognized on it was Mickey Dolenz. I was like, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, Phil X's birthday is Wednesday. He's 2 days younger than me. I'm 2 days older, and I look like 2 decades older than him. Brazil, the COVID land. I don't know. We're keeping up here in the U.S. Zach wouldn't be at the top, maybe next to EVH. You know what? Zach did do a lot. Pinch harmonic wise, sure. But just harmonics like all over, just because Eddie wasn't just pinch harmonics, right? He was about all the tapping harmonics and bending and tapping and just even like, the harmonics he pulls out for Panama, integrating it in the song so much. Other than just digging in and just hitting a bunch of lines that you're playing the song anyway, but you're just bringing out those harmonics as a certain stylistic, approach, which is what Zach did. I would say that he, that was definitely, pinch harmonics is definitely a big part of his style. But in terms of like mastering it, I'd put Eddie at the top. I think he was the best. And probably after that, I might go Satriani and then Zach. Down here. Well, maybe back up here. Yeah, I'll Wait is a great song. And you've seen there's some I never learned it for guitar, but there's guitar interpretations out there, without a doubt. Must have lost a bet to be on Guitar Stories with Dan and Andy. With Dandy, that's what I call that couple. They're dandy. No, I've known both of them for a while. I'm trying to think of who I met first. I want to say Dan, because he was at the first GitCon. Met Dan first. I met Andy in the spring, the summer of 2018, spring of 2018. That sounds right. But I met Andy in the spring. I met Dan in the fall of 2017. So, yeah, I've known those guys for a few years now. A nice Gibson cake. This is a paid for. That cake was actually, believe it or not, at the where was that cake? The Warwick Framus booth. He ordered. One night was a pedal board. The other night was a guitar. I don't think I was there for the third night, but 2 nights they had these cakes brought out. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. At the show, at the booth. Trying to think. They had one more like a year later, but it was just sort of a cake with like rock board and like all their logos on it. It wasn't like specially shaped. But that first year they had one that was a pedal board, and then the other one was the guitar. Hey, oh, Sean Tubbs is here. What's up, buddy? Thanks, man. Getting older, man. Yeah, I share it with like Oliver Wendell Holmes. Not to discount Oliver Wendell Holmes, which was a fantastic justice of the Supreme Court. But, you know, I wanted like Jimmy Page. I was like, Mickey Dolenz. Wah, wah, wah. Now, Mickey Dolenz is awesome. Yeah, no. That song, right? Next thing you know, 10 years have got behind you. It's like, no kidding. That is true. Oh, thanks, Michael. Turned 28 in January. Oh, you're still in your 20s. Was it? Do I know any Vito Bratta licks? I don't. I never, yeah. I don't know any Vito Bratta licks. I should, though. That's a glaring omission in my lineup. Yeah, Steely Dan, not really. Steely Dan-ish. That was a hack job. You know? Was it a... I forget it now. In the 20s, man, in a couple months I'll be moving from mid-50s to late 50s. Yeah. Well, that's where I am. I'm going from 54 to 55. That's a big number. You know, mortality starts to sink in. Eddie also invented the harmonic thing where you hammer on a string and drag your hand. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, he did all that stuff, those sliding harmonics, you know. I don't know a ton of Nuno. Trying to think of it. Something like that. Right. Right. I'm screwing this up. And it's like Something like that. How do you get a light touch? Well, the first thing you got to do is practice with some dynamics, you know. That just goes a long way, not to, you know, sit there and play every note, you know, at the same volume. Believe it or not, that stuff goes a long way to making yourself sound a lot more pro than you are. You may not have the knowledge, but if you have the feel, people will just think you're a really good guitar player. Even if you're all you got is the feels. The feels is enough. In fact, the feels might do better for you than even the technical knowledge and being able to shred real fast, because it doesn't come off the same. Yeah, especially to the non-musician, you know. You know, that feels more emotional to them than going through some big shred riff. Let's see, when you gonna review the optical spring reverb? Yeah, I wasn't on that list. Not a big, and they know it, I'm not a big pedal guy. I got some software stuff coming up soon. I'm working with Amp Hub. I'm coming out with some patches for them, and free, of course. And what else? I'm doing the Beat Buddy and the Loop Master thing. The that just you know, it's all, you know, a little bit to go through, and it's got some depth to it. And then I got one other one coming up. What do I got coming up real soon? Oh, a Spark video. I'm going to do another round. They want me to go through and whip up some more patches. I said, sure. Sure. Denoni King Diamond? No, I get that a lot too. I had a singer I used to work with who loved King Diamond. God, he was so into King Diamond. I never really learned any. Some St. Rhodes, yeah. Yeah, Alan Parsons' project won first. Joe Perry project didn't place. Well, you know, Joe wasn't big on the science. I feel like I whacked this neck somewhere. Is that it? No, not really. Or maybe I didn't. I don't see it. I mean, there's a tiny mark there, but not really. And it's all dark, which means that the mark has been there for a while. Just looking for it, because it kind of hit the edge of this table here. I should put some foam on it. It's annoying. Yeah, that might be it right there, but I don't think so. Nah, it would be it would be around here. Around here, and there's nothing there. What we got here? Nothing. Okay. Ryan, yeah. SG Fund's going great. I got a top guy on it, on getting an SG. And I have not been more excited for a guitar in so long. There's some Kramers I can't talk about that's coming out that I'm like super excited about. They finally announced the Aztec Kramer. I don't know, did you guys see that one? It's like a Vivian Campbell model. Let me see if I can bring up. Oh, what do and the Kramer guitars and the And if I go here, that it, yeah. Where is it? Artist collection? No. Modern? No. Yes, there it is. There she blows. It's it's the Vivian Campbell. Here's the funny thing about this guitar. It never went to production. Ebony fretboard. I think this is going to be, I could be wrong on this, but I think this is going to be the first time this guitar is actually in production. Kramer floated the guitar, made an ad for the guitar. I remember the ad. But, Kramer, I think at the time they floated the ad, they were maybe already starting to be in a little bit of trouble. This could have been 88 or 89. They didn't have the money. They had the money to run the ad, but they didn't have the money to have it built. So I don't think it ever made it to production in the 80s. I think it was sort of a rare, like, promo guitar. And so, like, if you had one of these, you want to talk like the rarest of the rare of the rare, because it never really was, a production model. It's got like a Floyd Rose on it and a couple of Duncans in it. And, the Vivian Campbell double humbucker configuration like that. And, the Swan inlays, which I kind of like, and their mother of pearl. You look at those, they're nice, And it's a Floyd Rose 1000. Which is always good. It's R2, which I like. It's the Nauer and Nut, And, they finally, I had seen this a while ago, but I couldn't really talk about it. It's finally out. There might have been one other guitar. Yeah. This is a variation on that. And here's one if you don't like the graphic. And you just want the Night Swan with the ebony and the the inlay and all that, but you don't want the Aztec graphic. Maybe you just get the gray. But the Aztec one is, I guess, what would you call that? Vaporware, right? Pretty much, right? You see it in an ad, but it never actually makes it to production until now. And I know that they're out there because I saw a dude make a video on one of these. And he bought it, I forget where he said. I don't know if he said if it was Sweetwater. I don't know where he said he got it from, but AMS? I forget, but there was a guy online who had one. And, of course, it has to be one of these. There's no way he has an original. Yeah, the Snake Sabo model already sold out. It's a cool graphic on it. But I'd be way more into this than the Snake model, the Snake Sabo, because I didn't really listen to Snake Sabo. I wasn't really a big, fan of Skid Row. I was a huge fan of Vivian Campbell, massive fan of Vivian Campbell. I loved him when he was in Dio, and I loved him when he was in Whitesnake. And you want to talk about one of your top players of all time. You got to put Vivian Campbell in the mix. The guy is just a just a phenom. In fact, I was listening to some Dio earlier today. I was up in the attic. I got a new scanner. I'm going to start digitizing my magazines again. And I had a wonderful scanner, but the rollers have worn out. And it's such a... Once you have the feed single sheet, I could replace the rollers. But you know what? I got my 15 years of use out of it. It's probably done. I don't even know how many thousands of scans. I mean, literally. I've used that so much. It sat in a, in an office for a while and was scanning like non-friggin' stop. So I got my use. But I got the replacement for it 15 years later. Then it went from, 5 pages a minute to 40. And even better quality. So, and it does both sides of the page at the same time. They're industrial. They're expensive. But they're worth it. They're so worth it. You could get a cheaper scanner, but, I loaded up an old cut-up Van Halen 1 book. I loaded into it today just to see how fast it would scan. And my God, it just ripped right through it. Didn't have a single misfeed. I was like, oh man, it's going to be awesome. So I was up in the attic listening to the Dio. I love Vivian Campbell. I got to get the feel down. He's probably doing all downstrokes. I feel like I have to go to Old Faithful for this. Right, doesn't it feel like? But I can't do it. That's a lot of downstrokes. Stand up and shout. Let it out. God, I love that. Stand up and shout. It is. Well, it's tough to do perfect when I haven't played in like guitar in a couple of days. It's been I almost had it. So close. Well, Dio hated Viv after he left. Well, I think Dio had a falling out with everyone. Dio seems to be a bit like the Sir Isaac Newton of metal. Read up on Sir Isaac Newton. He was a bit of a douche. Stephen Hawking put it best. It starts off, Sir Isaac Newton was not a pleasant man. And then he just proceeds to show just how petty and vindictive he was. He really was kind of a psycho. Yeah, but the difference is that Sir Isaac Newton actually did invent a lot of stuff, including calculus. I mean, Sir Isaac Newton really did change things in a huge way, massive way. Edison did, but he didn't. Edison took credit for a lot of stuff, but I think the more you dig into Edison, you realize he wasn't more of the scientist. He was the Steve Jobs, right? Right. He had Woz in the back really doing the work. But he just went out there and said, see, I'm a genius. Yeah, but he didn't invent the Fig Newton. That is true. Dio didn't give the band writing credits for a lot of... Well, he probably learned that from Ozzy and Sharon, because that's how they operated too. You know? They're just like, no, they figure out really quickly, just like in Cheap Trick, they figure, you know, that Rick Nielsen is much, much richer than anyone else in the band. It's not even close. He probably has 100 times their wealth because he got the songwriting credits, you know, for those big hits. And that's an extra stream of income that the other people don't get. You get mechanical rights and performance rights and all this other crap. But the big money comes in the publishing and songwriting credits. And so, you know, if you don't have a songwriting, it kind of what breaks bands up. It broke up the Police, right? Because Sting wrote all the songs, and you have one guy who's a friggin' multi-millionaire, and everyone else is doing okay, but not nearly as well as the guy getting the songwriting credits. And so, you know, these guys in these bands, Ozzy and them, they quickly figure out the big money is in having your name on the song and getting the writing credit. That way, anytime you license it to anyone, you always get paid, you know, nonstop. The song always pays off for you. And so, you know, they basically had a business model that said, if Ozzy is on the song, unless it's a straight up cover, he's getting a writing credit, period. Thanks, Adam D. Yeah, it was. How wide is the neck compared to the LP? You know, it's tough to say because it feels like it falls off quicker. It's thin front to back. I'd have to put a caliper on it. They feel about the same, but I think the Les Paul is going to feel a little bit. It also probably widens out a little faster. I wouldn't doubt if they're like around the same up here, but a little bit wider on the PRS up here, from what I'm feeling. Right? Yeah, Van Halen, The Doors. There's a bunch of bands out there that just did a 4-way split. And that, quite frankly, pissed Eddie off a little bit. Because he's like, why am I sharing all my revenues with these guys? Right? To some degree. Right? He's not wrong. And it's kind of what broke up. Who's the other band that was an issue? Smashing Pumpkins. The record company wanted them to do a 4-way split. And he's like, trust me, the band will stay together if you just do a split like this. Because then no one member of the band, you know, is doing better than the other. And I forget the guy's name, but the lead guy there was like, no, I'm the one writing all the songs. I should be getting the credit for that. And they did break up. Now, yeah, Jake probably did get hosed. You know, they figure out really quickly that that's where the money is. And so everybody wants a songwriting credit. I remember a friend of mine had like someone come in to play a part, and they were very aggressive. They wanted a songwriting credit on it. And he was like, no way, dude, you came in and played one part. He's like, yeah, but I wrote that part. And that's a part of the song. He's like, no, I'll pull it out, you know. And they were like, we'll give you like he wanted some credit on it. And he was like, yeah, not going to happen. There's no way I'm giving you a songwriting credit on that song. But again, they just knew. Everybody wants a songwriting credit. That's where the money is. Yeah, Corgan. You know, and then they get into all kinds of arrangements like we'll split merchandising a certain way, we'll split, you know, performances a certain way, but again, the heyday of this may be over right now that there's really record sales. I mean, just look at any Facebook feed. It's always, you know, I don't get any money from my streaming. I had 4 billion streams and I earned 35 cents. You know how that goes. It's like, I think the big money was probably through like the early 2000s. That was probably the heyday. And probably for like the last 15 years, it's been taking a hit every year. But in the heyday, the money was big, right? If you hit it big, the money was really big. But you'd have to hit it pretty big. Because you'd have to pay back the record company. There's all these things. Everybody, there was a boxer on Stern once, and they started to go through and like, say like, wow, you hit this big purse. You won this fight, and so you must have taken home a big payday. He's like, well, you got to pay the manager, you got to pay this guy. And they figured out that, like, this guy earned like $500,000 and walked home with like $25,000. It's like, you're the boxer, right? Everybody's got their hand out, Yeah, drummers get screwed every time, exactly. Well, that's where Van Halen, again, did a 4-way split. And there's a few bands out there, they do a 4-way split, so every song is written by all 4 members, right? They get a writing credit on every song. There's a few bands out there like that. Band's tour and merch revenue is split evenly. Yeah, that tends to be it. Yeah, Gino said it best. You're the last in line. He's like, that wasn't a song. That was an insight into where you stood to get paid. Yeah, no, I know the McCartney story with Michael Jackson is infamous. Basically says, yeah, the big money's in publishing. He says, oh, okay. He bought all the Beatles catalogs. Thanks, J. Beebs. Yeah, U2 is a 4-way split. Yeah, again. Kind of, and they've stuck together. I don't think the Stones are. I don't think they are. I want to say that it's like really... But see, McCartney and Lennon had a thing that they would always give each other, who wrote the song, they would split it. Oh, thanks, Vanilla Slice. Happy birthday, Steve. Thank you for the channel lives, stories about music, guitars, Lionel trains. Oh, thanks, man. No, you rock. Yeah, Phil Rudd. Yeah, so it's like, it's not that they don't do well. It's just like if you compare the stream of income between someone with a writing credit and someone without, it is massive. It is massive. Yeah, the big money's in all the lawsuits. Hey, speaking of lawsuits, did you? I hadn't mentioned this before, but I'll bring it up now. There was a lawsuit. I'll probably make a separate dedicated video on this, so pardon the duplication, but it just happened to this sort of news. DiMarzio was being sued. I want to say the case was filed. It could have been 2017. I thought it was 2016. It's been going on for a little while. Maybe it was 2017 or so, but the guy basically said that the color mark, the cream-colored mark that DiMarzio owns as to cream-colored bobbins, was an undue burden, a hindrance to him matching the pickup rings on, his guitar. And he uses the example of the famous 1959 Les Paul. And I think at some point during it, they were like, well, do you own a 59 Les Paul? And he was like, no. Could you change the pickup rings? Never mind that I can change the pickup rings. The point is that they don't match. So he sues. And it's not like a regular lawsuit. It goes through this, like, it's almost like a very administrative kind of thing. It's almost like going before like some board, an administrative board, than it is going through court. But they follow some court procedure, like in discovery. So he files this lawsuit. He basically types it up on a single sheet of paper, and he files it. And he basically says, I'm being hurt because I want to be able to match my pickup rings, and I can't do that. So you could argue that about any trademark. I'm hurt because my sneakers don't have the Nike swoosh on it. I mean, and he basically said, and therefore it's functional, and, and all this stuff. And so he files a suit, and the court throws it out. They go, yeah, that's subjective. It elicited the same response, I think, from them as it did from me. So? He's like, yeah, I can't match my pickup rings. And? You going somewhere with this? That show me the law that says, like, I have an right to match my pickup rings, and all this stuff. So his case gets dismissed, right? As I agreed, it should have been dismissed, He hires a lawyer, and it's a pretty big law firm out of Seattle, right? This is not some little, mom. They've got like a couple of hundred attorneys, maybe more. It's a pretty big firm. And that guy files almost the identical complaint. I mean, pretty much when it comes to, forget like all the, what I call the preamble, right? The parties live here, and this is this, and this is the jurisdiction, and all that crap, right? That's all just preamble. Let's get to the complaint part. And when you get to there, it was like, it doesn't match his pickup rings. And to show that it wasn't subjective and that it was objective, he went out and had an affidavit signed by like 50 different people on like some forum, right? So he's going on the We Hate DiMarzio forum, or who knows where he went, but he went to My Les Paul probably. He went to some forum. He got a bunch of people to sign off on it. That's what we would call the me and the boys. Listen, me and the boys, we had a talk, and we've decided your trademark has to go, right? That's the me and the boys defense. So the court takes a look at it, and I'm saying to myself, first of all, I can't even believe the court's even entertaining it after dismissing it, right? It's the identical complaint. The only difference between the first one and the second one is it's written by a lawyer, so it looks a little better, right? It's in proper form. And two, he's got this affidavit. He's got 50 affidavits from people saying, yeah, I'm really angry about it too, and I want to match my pickup rings. But that's a law school trap, okay? Okay, the professor's going to say, does this law make sense? And some student will say, well, I don't know if we should go through all that trouble for one person. And the professor's eyes will light up. And he'll go, how about 2 people? How about 5 people? How about 20 people? And by the time he gets to his third, how about 20 people? Boy, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, right? And so, and then it works both ways. Well, I suppose if we had, well, then they'd be like, well, what if we had 1 million people? What if I had 5 million people sign an affidavit? Then would you do it? Yeah. Okay. How about 4 million? Okay. How about 3 million? Right? They're just gonna drag you around, right? It made no difference, 0 difference, that he had 50 people versus 1 person. 50 people can be subjective. That's not a very large sample set. And quite frankly, it really doesn't make a difference anyway, because, it's a valid trademark, and you can't just decide one day, boo-hoo, I wish I had that mark on my guitar from a different manufacturer. That's not the way it works. They let it go through. And I knew it was going to happen, because if you read the court's decision, They spend a lot of time talking about that if you have even the tiniest scintilla, look it up, of a case, you should let it through. Even the weakest, crappiest case deserves their day in court. And I'm like, ay, ay, ay. So they let the case go through. That case drags on for like 4 years at quite a bit of expense to DiMarzio. You know, they're fighting about discovery. It's getting very acrimonious. DiMarzio lists one expert to call a trial. George Grun from Grun Guitars. What an expert, right? I'm like, this is going to be a hell of a trial. So it's going on for a while. About a year ago, maybe last fall, it starts to pick up a little bit of steam. And the court basically says, listen, you guys got to figure out what's going on with this deposition and get it done. And they're arguing about where to have it and all this. So they work that out. They have the deposition. And then the guy files, like right around Christmas or right before Christmas, a motion to basically say, Larry DiMarzio didn't answer all of our questions fully. He was woefully inadequately prepared. And therefore, because they've screwed us on discovery, you should just give us our case, right? You should just hand us our case. And that is a thing out there. In other words, if you refuse to cooperate with discovery, the court can just find for the plaintiff. If you're a defendant and a guy asks you for interrogatories and you refuse to answer the interrogatories, they can make a motion to give them the case, the plaintiff the case, because you refuse to cooperate. And you would get a default for failing to comply with discovery, right? You'd be defaulted for that, right? You don't have to default just by not answering. You can default by not answering discovery. So that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to basically say, well, Larry, you didn't answer all of our questions and all this stuff. So they file this motion to basically say, give us this case. This is like right before Christmas. This is like, what, 8 weeks ago, right? 12 weeks? Not even 12 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago. And they basically say, we want the case handed to us because Larry wasn't adequately prepared for all of this. That sort of stews out there for a few weeks. Well, a couple of weeks ago, the court makes a decision on it. And they basically say, yeah, we disagree. We think he sat for a multiple-hour deposition. We think Larry DiMarzio answered all of your questions, that you were posing to them. And, just because he didn't give you the answers you were looking for doesn't mean it was inadequate, basically. And they were like, we're continuing to trial and get your act together. And where there's going to be no more extensions. And right after that, maybe a couple of weeks later, there was a motion from, I think it was the plaintiff, to extend all the deadlines by 2 weeks. This is probably 4 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago. Extend all the deadlines by 2 weeks because we're working out a settlement. I was about to make a video, and I said, oh, don't do it. Don't make a video because you're going to make a video, and if by the remote chance that one of them sees it and it pisses them off, you're going to throw a cog into the wrench of their case. And so don't do it. So I waited. It all fell apart on Monday. Literally less than a week ago, this past Monday. On Monday, now, I don't know what happened behind the scenes. They may have signed a settlement agreement. I have no idea. But I do know that the plaintiff filed a withdrawal of their case without the permission of the respondent. When a petitioner withdraws their case without the permission, the written permission of the person defending it, that's an admission that you never had a case. And it functions as though you can never bring the case again. If you had written permission, basically say, oh, we screwed up, we sued in the wrong way or whatever, and you can get written permission, then you can withdraw it and refile it. What you would most likely do is amend it, not withdraw it. where it was withdrawn without permission, it's out with what we call with prejudice. So it's never coming back. And so you can talk about it now because it's literally over. There's nothing that can happen now. It's literally yesterday's news at this point. And Larry prevailed. But as I was thinking about the case, I was like, well, what would happen? Let's just assume that this guy wins. That he goes in there and he successfully argues to the court, you know what? My PRS looks good with its cream pickup rings and black pickups, but it would look even better with cream pickups, and I can't get them from my manufacturer that I want. I'm forced to go to Larry DiMarzio. And I don't want to. I don't want a DiMarzio pickup. I want insert any brand name, right? I want EMG. I want whatever. And therefore I'm hurt, right? You could argue that about anything. You could argue that about Sir. Sir, if he won that case, the first thing Sir would do would be file against Fender for their trademark headstock and say, well, the Sir guitar looks good with its current headstock, but it would look even better with the matching classic headstock. And that's what this guy's argument was. Cream is like this classic color. But they sort of pointed out the cases where color marks have been knocked out. There have been times where a color mark has been knocked out for hurting the market. In other words, sucking up all the availability for something in a market, rendering everybody else at a competitive disadvantage. And that's kind of like what their argument is, right? They're basically like, first of all, you have to say it's a functional color. You could put Seymour Duncan himself on the stand. He's not going to tell you that a cream pickup sounds any different than a black bobbin pickup or a white bobbin pickup or a pink bobbin pickup. The bobbin makes zero difference, and the color of the bobbin makes zero difference in the sound, right? So with that functionality taken out of it, the only thing you have left is matching functionality, right? And the two big cases on that are the boat motor case, right? The Mercury. You guys know outboard motors? The two big companies are, at least when I was a kid, was Mercury and Johnson. Mercury's were black, Johnson's were white. Now, most boat hulls are white. And so you're not going to see a lot of pink outboard motors or blue outboard motors. They're mainly black and white, right? Mercury has that around for about 20 years. In the 80s, they decide we want to trademark the black. So they try to trademark black. And while it's going for their trademark, a bunch of people oppose it. And they're like, there's not too many colors that match a boat hull. If they take up black, they're sucking up, like a considerable, segment of the market that we would have to, license the color black from. This is ridiculous. And the court agreed. And the court even told them, if you didn't say black, if you had said Mercury black and you had that wonderful description about all the, the blue and the red metal flake that's mixed into the black paint, we probably would have given it to you. But you held out for black. And we can't give it to you. It's hurting the market too much. This is the mentality that's going on, just so you know, with the DiMarzio mark. In other words, they're locking up cream, except for single coils, except for P90s, and except for bar humbuckers. Right? See, that's the problem. They're not really holding up cream, only in a very limited scope. Right? That's right. And so you can't really say it's functionally different. Not functional like an orange traffic cone, right? You can't trademark orange traffic cones and say, well, we trademarked the color. It's like, no, that color is functional, right? Unlike the Tiffany green that covers the Tiffany box. That's not functional. That's whimsical, right? It's chosen on a whim. The other big case was the florist case. It was a case where a bunch of florists were fighting it out. Guy, he wanted to, the paper that they wrap the flowers, the bouquet up with, that crepe paper, it's like tissue paper. Company went for black. Again, black. Don't take colors. Don't take black or white. You're almost assured not to get it. And they're like, yeah, this is our trademark wrapping, our black wrapping, And the industry, while they were going for their mark, opposed it, fought back hard and said no. We use it for posh. We use it for Halloween. We use it for bereavement. We use it for like high-end, like, I guess that would be posh, like, roses and, all stuff like that. No, you can't take black. That would lock the market up. And the market would suffer because of it. The court agreed. They threw it out. Compare those two cases. Both of them never got their marks. They both went for black. Compare that to the DiMarzio case, which they got their mark in 1981 or 82. They got incontestability in 1987. And now in 2016, this guy's going to come and say, oh, by the way, I want to throw your mark out. It's never going to happen. And besides, if you asked a person what color is cream, you'd get 10 answers from 10 different people, unlike black or white, which is more absolute, right? Even red or green or blue. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of interpretation going on there, unlike extremes like black or white, where it's a little bit, not a little bit, it's completely, right? Literally on the color charts, one's 0 and one's 255, right? The two ends of the extreme. So I was glad to see that DiMarzio won that case. I thought it was going to be bad for the industry. I thought it was going to, I don't think he would have prevailed. I think and that's why they backed out. But that was a huge case to come down on Monday. I was glad to see that go out. That was 5 years. You wonder who bore all the costs for that. You wonder if the part of the settlement was that they just wanted to. I hope Larry got some of his money back, because I assure you that cost him probably, I want to say there's 63 entries in the docket. That's probably $100,000. How did Gene Simmons trademark so many things? You know what? The only thing you can do to trademark it is file for it. And if the court gives it to you, they give it to you. Now, they could invalidate it at some point, but once you get to incontestability and you get past that, it becomes much more difficult. DiMarzio was past incontestability. The great incontestability story is Park and Fly. Right? You can't have names that describe what you are, right? So Park and Fly got through on the supplemental because they were descriptive, not generic, descriptive. So they get through on descriptive. They get past 5 years, and then they go on, I think, the full register. They work through their register, and they get enough time to go for incontestability, and they get it. Well, sure enough, after that, someone comes along and they're like, we want Park and Fly. It's crazy. That's descriptive. They shouldn't have got that. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? You didn't object. It's been on there, and they went for incontestability, and they got it. And if incontestability is going to mean anything, it's going to mean that if you sit on your rights and don't contest it, then you lose it. And that's what happened. So why they ever give that to DiMarzio? You know what? At the time, it was fairly unique. At the time, cream bobbins weren't a thing. Most pickups were covered in metal or black. Cream was more expensive to make. And so cheap manufacturers didn't want to do it. Black was cheaper. They just used that. And so Larry did it to make his pickup stand out. And there you go. The whiter you make it, the more expensive it is. I think pure white is the most expensive plastic. Yeah. I guess it depends on the rhythm, but yeah, it's the same notes. It's that same tritone between immigrant song and the Get Smart theme, right? One's probably... It's all in the picking. What about PAFs? You know what? I don't know. I think most of them were covered in metal. But the bottom line is that if they wanted to object, they had to do it when he went for the mark in 1981. And then even after that, they had 5 years. 5 years. Not only did they have probably a year, right? Because it has to go up on the... it goes up on like a... almost like in a holding, container for it to, right? It goes up on the board for opposition. And anyone can go and look at, see what's pending and decide whether or not they want to oppose it. And, big firms will have things in there that they're, key words that they're looking for to see anything even close to their mark, whether they want to oppose it. And they didn't get any opposition, or if they did, it didn't prevail. And then they went through and they followed all the procedure, and they did get incontestability. In fact, when you read some of the emails between them, I wonder if I can, hold on, let me see if I can, I bet I could go, maybe here, like good thing is it sort of cross-references my bookmarks. Yeah, where is it? It's T-tab right there. Can I say copy? And then paste it here? Yeah. I just posted it. That's the case. You'll see it was a petition for cancellation, and it was it all went down on Monday. It was all withdrawn. It all fell apart on Monday. But that has every single document in the docket, and that'll give you everything you need to know. I believe the plaintiff's name was Flanders. Clearly not Ned Flanders. I think it was Andrew Flanders. Singer stole the sewing machine patent. Lowell, who was a guy, Waltham, right? Waltham system. I forget if it was Waltham or Lowell. It could have been Waltham. One of those guys was just like a wealthy, young dude in the Boston area. And he went over to England, and he was so, in with the inner circle, he got to see a cotton, what was it? It was a, what are they, not a lathe, it was a, not a cotton gin, it was, what was it? It was a textile mill, right? They had a breakthrough in making textiles, right, in this textile mill. In fact, it was treasonous. It was punishable by death for the textile, design to get out. And he had a photographic memory. They showed it to him. He memorized it. He went back, and after a few variations, he made one here and opened up all the textiles that happened up in Lowell and Waltham. Oakley dokley. Stupid suing Flanders. Oh, thanks, Austin G. No, it wasn't a cotton gin. It was a loom. It was a special It was a loom. It was a textile loom that, like, literally it was top secret because they considered it a competitive advantage over other countries, and so they didn't want that getting out. And they showed it to this dude. He was probably like in his early 20s. He like completely memorized it, took it back, made one. Yeah, memorized it and sketched it once he arrived. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right, yeah. Yeah, and pretty much, yeah, they started the first corporation, I think, in the United States, right? The first company to incorporate. Oh, no, we have a ton of textile mills around here. Oh, my God. There's an old cotton mill along the river down in Dedham. That, my God, there would be huge, I mean, this is many years later, huge bales of cotton. I was like, oh, my God. Of course, they light up like on fire like nothing, so a lot of fires. Oh, and the blues. Thanks, buddy. A little bit of a... The loom had interchangeable pattern cards. Yeah, so there you go. Though I have to say that Chinese food is sounding better and better now. I wasn't hungry when I got on here, but I'm kind of thinking about it now. I think my other tones, this one isn't the most bluesy tone. I think my other tone is a little bit more bluesy. Because it's based on a Marshall. I'll go single coil. Just moved to the greater Boston area, Wellesley-ish. Oh, look at you. Any recommendations for good guitar stores techs? Well, we're mostly Guitar Center around here. Probably Walpole. You got Axe Palace. Weymouth. You got your Matt's Music. I forget if it's Lexington or Bedford or Concord. Music Emporium. And then for work, for guitar work, the best guy is Mark Herbert in Brookline, pretty much down at the end of Route 9 in Brookline, right when Route 9 turns to Boston. And cheaper, someone that, if you didn't need the finesse and you just need someone to do some quick work for you, Wolf. Wolf's always been good, and he's been doing it for 40 years. Yeah, Lexington. It was one of those. I knew it was up in the Lexington, Concord, Bedford area. Yeah, let's take another look at the... I feel like that looks a little dark. I bring that just a hair lighter. Yeah, a little bit. That looks a little better. There we go. There we go. I probably had it turned down because had a lighter guitar, and those will blow out real fast. Sadly, my pickups don't match my pickup rings. How will I ever survive? Axe Palace sounds cool as their marble floors. Well, get ready for the disappointment. It's a bit of a misnomer. Actually, Axe Palace has a lot of high-end guitars and high-end amps. Very high-end. Bring your wallet. It's pretty expensive stuff in there. Their cheapest guitar is probably $1,500, and they go up to about $7,000. Please address PRS quality control issues at paying, finish lifting and finish fade. I've never seen it. I've never seen that on the PRS. A finish lifting or fading. Is it a particular year? Maybe they had like anything. Like I got this is a section in my roof where, we had the roof done in 2013. They've been out to the house like 6 times, all along the same section, because we had one bad bundle. Never. It's a 2-piece shingle. Like one part's like decorative, like that shake shingle look. So one part's just glued on. It's just a decorative look, And it keeps falling off. I keep finding them in the front yard. What the hell's going on here? And so it doesn't prevent water. It doesn't allow water to go in. It's just a decorative top piece. But they've had to come out like a half dozen times because we had one bad bundle, and it's all along the same area. Now it doesn't happen anymore. So it happens. Manufacturing, like anything, it happens. But I've never seen any QC issues with them, and I've tried a lot of PRSs over the years. And I see a lot of them online too. I don't see a ton, but like anything, you have a day where a guy just adds too much something in the paint. It can happen, I have hundreds of photos. Well, go hire a lawyer and start a class action suit. You'll find out real quick how much of a I'd say vote with your wallet. Just don't buy them anymore. But I haven't had it. I don't know. Mine's been fine. This is actually, what year is this? Let me see. 2016. Hold on. Yeah. Jesus Christ. 2016. The bottom of these treads, they just, every little wire just gets stuck right up in them. I move my foot and I just rip everything right out. Can't tell you how many things I've destroyed with the bottom of these shoes. Ah. I think the mic survived. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm seeing meter. Wow, 8:40. Wow, that went by fast tonight. Manchester Music Mill. My PRS, it seemed like I paid for a 10 top that wasn't so great. You know, I always wondered what makes up a 10 top, because sometimes, you know, I see some tops that aren't marked 10 top. I'm like, wow, it's a really gorgeous top. And other times I see them and I'm like, yeah, you know, I guess it's consistent. They say it's for consistency. In other words, it won't break up, right? It's consistent, but some of them are consistent, but it's a very tight flame. And I almost feel like I know what you're saying. It's like, what's the criteria again? Again, it feels very subjective. I'm sure it is. I know my hair is going crazy. It's. I know. I'm getting a little. Hold on. Go. Look, I just had a haircut. It's just that fast. I know. I gotta go. I haven't had a. The last time I went to the barber was September. It's been a little bit, and my son cut my hair. I want to say in maybe December, maybe January, something like that. We can get back out there again on the porch. It's going to be like 60s around here next week. A mild day like Wednesday. We'll get out on the front porch, have him cut my hair again. I don't want to go to the barber. I just feel like that, you know what? I'm so close to getting the vaccine. I don't want to screw up. I don't want to crash my car 1 block from my house, if you know what I'm saying, right? It's like, I made it this far. Just get to the vaccine and I'll be fine. So I'm pretty much locking down. Plus, we have that super fast spreading variant now. What's the chance it's going to show up at the barbershop? Who knows? But not going there is probably better than going there. So my son's getting pretty good at cutting the hair. He'll be fine. Or I'll just leave it. I'll just leave the long hair. There you go. Like that. I'm turning 55 on Monday. How's the Franklin? I think you mean the Frankie neck going. It's going good. In fact, I just spoke with them last week, and they've been busy because they're trying to fill a bunch of orders for people, but they're working on it. They're getting it. Yeah, I'm taking it seriously because I think if I get it, it's not going to go well for me. An older guy and an overweight, it's like, I told you, a kid I went to, school with since second grade just died from it. And one of his last posts was, it's no worse than the flu. Calm down. Everyone's fine. Stop panicking. Uh-huh. He literally died on a ventilator. So, if there was any omen to take it seriously, I would say it was his passing. Literally, like my age, within a year of my age, because you know how that goes with school. There's like a cutoff date, so he could be 6 months older or 6 months younger. But he was older. He was definitely older. He's probably 6 months, maybe 8 months older. No, he wasn't sick. He was going in for treatment because he had diabetes. Not the type 1, the type 2. And he was thin. He wasn't a big, heavy dude at all. But he was a smoker. At least he was, say, 7 years ago. 6. That's the last time I saw him. So I don't know if he had quit smoking since then. But between the smoking and having diabetes, I guess those two things really, he never got off the ventilator. He went on the ventilator, never got off. So that'll do it. But he wasn't sick with anything other than going and getting treatment for his type 2 diabetes. That'll do it. No, my dad didn't. No, I haven't got not J&J yet. My dad got Pfizer. I think my father-in-law got Moderna. A friend of mine's mom got Moderna, and because he's the only one living with her, and she's like 88, he's going to get it too. They put him on the fast track, so he gets to get it, and he's getting Moderna as well. We have a Moderna factory near us, but they pulled the sign down like a year ago because they don't want people going by it. But it has a big empty parking lot, and we take my daughter there to practice driving. Yeah, my father-in-law got the Moderna, and he said, I think he was fine with the first one, but he said the second one, he had like muscle pain in his arm for like a day. Like his arm just kind of hurt. And then it went away after one day. Yeah, the Borg nanoprobes. One B. I think I'm in like 1C. Or we might do. In fact, I think we're already in phase 2. I could be like 2, like C or D. It's like I'm right at the end of phase 2, because I think I'd have to be. I think it's like over 40 with like one comorbidity, which I would have. Because I think taking blood pressure medication is enough. So Green Media, you're not looking for a shot because it's easily accessible or because you don't want to take it? I, for one, can't wait to take it. By the time I take it, there'll be probably like 200 million people ahead of me. That's a pretty good statistical sample. I'm not worried about it. The first few people who got it after just the regular trial run on the emergency, they're the brave ones. When you're 100 millionth in line, you're risking very little. Plus, don't, and again, I argue with this, people, don't confuse a vaccine with a drug. Okay, they are not the same, not even close to being the same. It's like my sister's like, oh, I don't know, you see all that stuff on TV, the recalls. I'm like, yeah, for what, hernia mesh? For something that they put inside you, some medical device? Sure. Or a drug? Sure. But a vaccine? It's a fundamental misunderstanding on how vaccines work. A vaccine is just a way to fool your system. All they want to know is whether or not your system is fooled. It's not a chemical that alters your physiology like simvastatin or something like. You know what I'm saying? It's not that kind of thing. It's not a drug. It's a vaccine. That's why they don't call them drugs. They're a statistically speaking, vaccines are incredibly safe because all it is, and the new ones are even smarter because they don't have to concoct a bunch of dead virus. The new ones, they only use that tiny little like RNA strand. It's enough, right? So it's almost like a photocopy. It doesn't have to be the real, you know what I'm saying, like a real dead virus, right, to fool your system. It can just be like a fooled virus, right? So they make a little RNA strand, and, you're off to the races. You see whether or not it works. And it did. Yeah, exactly. Vaccine is a protein that fools your body into making antibodies. Literally that simple. Which is why the efficacy, right? It just depends on the efficacy of it. But what's so crazy is that, the flu vaccine is normally like 60 to 70% efficacy. This one, with this new RNA, is like 95% efficacy. I mean, you can't, come on. So I can't wait to get mine. I'll take my chances. All my friends who are like, I'm not worried about it, are dead. Okay, I'm going to remain worried about it, and I'm going to take the vaccine as soon as it's available. You do whatever you're comfortable with, but I know what I'm comfortable with, and it's getting that vaccine in my arm ASAP, and getting this all behind us. And it's funny because my sister was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to take it. I'm like, why? She goes, well, because everyone else is going to take it and I don't have to. I go, well, yeah, but if everyone has that mentality, then nothing ever reopens. She's like, why not? I go, because they're not going to reopen until they know they have 70% of the people with shots in their arms. She's like, well, that's ridiculous. It's like, how do you think this is going to work? My God. Yeah, you basically, you rely on X amount of population getting it. I can tell you this, my dad grew up in the time of polio. My dad's 87 years old, all right? He grew up in the time of polio. And he couldn't wait to get he got his shots weeks ago because he's a vet, so he goes to the VA. And he got his, before anyone I knew had one, he had one. And he grew up in polio, and he's like, we couldn't wait to get the vaccine. And even in that, they had a couple of problems. They had one where they screwed up I think it resulted in some sickness or death. But again, you're talking the 1930s and 40s versus 2021. Big difference. Just the safeguards in place today. Yeah. Live satellite got it right. Drugs enter your bloodstream and cause a chemical change. Vaccines just show up and your blood's like, what the hell is this? It looks like we're under attack, but you're not under attack, right? And so what's great is it just develops the antibodies. And then when the real one does show up, your body doesn't have to go through that waiting period where the virus blows up out of control. Your body can't react, or when it does react, it reacts like way over the top, right? It has a more like balanced approach. There's all kinds of benefits to it. So, again, just statistically speaking, I'll take my chance. Every time I get in a car, I take a risk. Every time I do anything, I take a risk. Walking down a flight of stairs, I'll take my chances with the vaccine. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no flu this year. Why? Because we all did the things for the pandemic, right? I love that. It just goes to show you that, when you do follow maybe the Asians had it right, because when I would get on flights, there'd be so many Asians just always wearing masks. That was a thing. No one else, but you'd have like 4 or 5, half a dozen Asian people, and they'd all be masked up. They'd be like, I'm on a plane. I don't want to get sick. But it turns out that when you wash your hands a lot and you wear a mask, you don't get the flu either. Funny how that goes. Well, I think Mikey's got it right. It is a bit of a guessing game because the virus does mutate, only because it's when something makes a copy of itself that many times, like billions of times, right, you're going to start to get variation. So we've already seen it. So that's why they were just talking about this the other day. They're like, in poor countries, middle to poor countries that, just don't have the robust healthcare system, like the UK or Europe, the United States, and they, distribute all this stuff. They're like, you got to get shots in arms of these people, because what's going to happen is they'll be neglected and the virus will continue to go there, and a more virile strain will come out of it. It's almost inevitable, right? So you try to wipe it out now. Well, you can't. And, nothing's written in stone. I mean, you plan for what you know about, and you just hope that the mutation isn't, something. So far, we've seen a few mutations, and the vaccine seems to work. What they're worried is about it. You get a mutation where the vaccine doesn't work, and that's the scary part, is letting it fester in some third world country, and then the next thing you know, it's a problem again, and we're going through this all over again. So you got one chance to get it right. Yeah, actually it's 9 o'clock. I should let the family out of lockdown. All right, dude. I'm out. Thanks so much. Super extra thanks to anyone who contributed. Really, really appreciate it. Super props to my mod squad. Again, super appreciated. I definitely have videos coming out this week. I thought last week too, but we got all screwed up with a bunch of stuff. But We're finally done. And there you go. You know? So thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah. Have a little Chinese. I'll heat it up. It'll be good. It's fine. A little in the microwave. You're good. I will see you guys in a week. Until then, have a wonderful week. And there you have it. There you go. You know, I think we learned something tonight. About Larry DiMarzio. All right, dudes. No, you rock. I'll see you guys in a week. And there you go. All right, dudes. Later.